Holy
NP, see you later.
Yep, NP, see you later. Friends, if there's one thing I know about tabletop RPG campaigns, the instant you name an NPC, they become a legitimate target for murder.
Or you take them out of time and space and bring them with you everywhere.
No, I've seen it before. Sometimes people interact with a character like 10 times, and I never give them a name. I give them a name, and they're like, "What if I killed that person?"
We should go back for trap bait, and I'll pull him out of time.
He will for always and ever be trap bait.
He takes you once you begin expressing, post food interest. Oh my goodness, these hiccups are killing me. Post food interest. He says, "Adventurers like yourselves might find my private reserve to be of some use." And he
sounds like he's been hitting the sauce already.
Deeper into the barn and kicks some hay out of the side and pulls out 2 vials and says, "These are potions of healing. I know you'd be able to find something like this in a larger town, but these potions of healing are quite rare this far out on the frontier."
What was the... oh, wait. Wasn't there something... You learned how to make them, didn't you, Drumurboy?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And what was the cost of building a single one? Do you remember? It was like 100 gold? No.
No, it was half cost, but it cost materials and time.
Yes. It costs several hours of work and going out and gathering stuff in an appropriate area. And half of the gold cost.
And what they normally sell for 50 GP? Is that it?
He's willing to offer 2 for 100.
You know what? I'll say to him, if you clothe my companion here, and I point to what was his name? The goblin.
Hig.
Hang on, I got it here somewhere.
H-A-I-G.
Yeah, Hig? Yeah, that's right.
Hig, like the convention.
It was like
we're all going to ignore.
Spelled differently.
General Hag of the Relieved. That's right. Yeah.
The Relieved. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll.
He says a general. That
yes.
creature. I've some secondhand clothing from my son that I could give to you.
Just baby clothes.
Well, no, but you gotta understand, really this goblin is much smaller than... So he says, all of the other clothing I might appropriate from the village would not be of appropriate stature for general.
So I say, General, is that good enough for you for the time being?
He pokes his head around into the barn and he's just like, "That's fine, you got pen and paper?" And the man is like, "We have some. How much do you need?" And he's just like, "Everything." She's paying.
How much do you need? Yes.
So he doesn't just give pen and paper, he gives several empty books. They're bound books, but there's nothing written. Basically like travelogues.
Great, perfect.
And some cast downs that he goes and gets from his house. So let me describe now. Hig basically looks like Goblin Joffrey at this point. We're talking yellows, browns. There's a shoulder insert in the shoulder areas to make his shoulders flatten out. He's Godfrey. Yeah, he's Godfrey now. You can tell Hig is a little uncomfortable in this kind of clothing, and he finds like a cloak and just wears like the lightest clothing possible in the cloak to return to his previous dark cleric self. And he's like, "Yes, this clothing will do fine. I will keep the hat." Like a
to be in charge, you have to have a hat,
basically.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone knows the one with the biggest hat's the one in charge.
So how much does he want for the health potions and some paper and all that shit?
100 gold pieces. You starting it all
GP?
in. Yeah, I mean when you're paying 100 gold pieces, throwing in, a few extra gold piece worth of equipment, not a big deal.
He's just cleaning all the shit out of his house.
Yeah, you're yard selling him right now.
Pretty much.
What type of health potions are these?
Just healing potions. They do the 2d8 plus whatever.
4, I think. Right.
I think it's 3.
4?
Hail, adventurers! Would you like some shit from my warehouse?
AKA that closet that my wife wants me to clean out.
Well, I'm going to go into the socioeconomic status of how this works. But the people of the town, like owe him the goods that they make, and he provides for them. And then when he sells this stuff, he has money to buy his people stuff. I mean, Rurik does the same thing, but Rurik is not a rich man.
Well, he spends all his money on rocks.
He spends all his money on making
And
the town
wind
more
spells.
defensible. I'd note that this town has no guard towers. It doesn't have any walls or anything like that.
No wonder they have goblin problems.
Yeah, exactly.
If you had one tower with an archer.
It's like level 1 of a tower defense. You just need like the one guy.
No, it's Age of Empires.
Oh, that hurts me. My friends, I've enjoyed my time with you, but I'm afraid I must get back to overseeing things. When I am not present, I fear that the villagers may laze about.
They might discover the printed word.
Thanks for the goods and don't die in the demon war.
I have reserved my time for later in the year, but thank you.
Have fun storming the castle.
I knew that was going to happen. So he has someone come in and help. It's Thomas, actually, that he has come in and help load your cart with all of your stuff. And Thomas pretends that he doesn't know who you are.
Yeah, I'm going to pretend I don't know him.
Okay.
You guys can talk to him if you want, but
it should be noted that when you get here, it's nightfall, so you can spend the night here or
Yeah, we should find some lodging.
stay at the mayor's house, which doubles as an inn.
I think we just get some lodging, right?
Yeah. Do they have a saloon, drunk place?
They do have like a local watering hole where you can go to get your.
how far away is
alcohol
the
needs.
next? How far away is the next town from here?
It depends on whether you want to stay on or off the road. If you're
I mean, we
willing
travel
to
faster
go
going
over
down the
rough
road,
road,
right?
you can get to Magnar in about 2 days. If not, it's 3 days, but you'll always be on a secure road with, watchtowers nearby.
Isn't this one the outskirts where the
Yes.
sorcerer lives?
The sorcerer lives directly north of Magnar, like right outside the wall.
Okay.
Where you're clicking at is where the rough location of the Fey Temple. So we're talking rough overland area, trees, possible orcish attacks, that kind of deal.
Yeah. So
There's
on
no
a
road.
road,
No road.
no, like this isn't.
The road just ends right there.
How long to get to there? 'Cause, like if it's easier.
You
going to
believe it
Mount-
would take about a day to get there, and then from there a day to get to Magnar.
Fuck it.
Like half a day to get to Magnar. It'll be pretty close.
How long is a day travel wise? Like
34
hours.
miles.
I'm asking if I can use my power to get there overnight.
Let's see how quickly your power works. You want to
Wait, what
use your
power
power.
is this?
Let me look.
Do you have a power of flat or something like that?
Not quite, but you got something special when you went mad. So did I.
Hell yeah, dude! Nice.
You'll be able to travel. You will be able to completely skip everything and get to the road over the course of 1 hour. So you could get to the edge of the road from Magnar, sleep there, and then tomorrow morning get to Valdella's in like 4 or 5 hours. Get there by noon, basically. You want to do it?
What do you guys think?
Wait, so what are we doing? Wait, you can take us with you? What is it exactly are you doing?
Yeah, explain a little bit more again.
If we leave right now, I can get us halfway there in an hour.
Okay.
We'd have to camp. We wouldn't.
Fern gather.
What we're trying to figure out, or what I think the question is how the fuck?
I'm just asking if you guys want to do it.
Right
Fuck
here.
it, sure.
I can get us here in an hour.
Oh.
So that way, like, we want to go to Valdella's to sell off the magical items that we can't use anymore. Like, if you had magical items from the previous magistrate in the other timeline that you can't use anymore, we can go to the Valdella's shop, sell them at a magic shop, maybe be able to trade something in for better items, and then go on our way.
Spooty, do you still use your sword or not really?
The
ice sword. Yeah, so we can sell that, for example, and get you something more fitting to your current bear form or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good with it.
Okay, so I like the idea that Kelly starts like taking off all of her armor, like expecting to put on a dress and go get fucked up on the town, and then he's just like, I can magic us all the way over there, and then she's just like, all right, fine. Puts the armor back on. Like, what type of dark magic is this now?
Do you initiate your power?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is a bubble forms around your two wagons and every member of the party, and reality shifts. You're not in the middle of a town. You're in the middle of a clearing in a forest, but the sky is not one solid color. It's interwoven pastel pink and green. The trees here are bursting with life. I mean, there's moss growing off of all of them. The trees are huge. The insects here are huge. There's butterflies and dragonflies and moss all around you at all points. And there's just a simple deer path leading in between the trees. For some reason, it defies your ability of perspective. The path is only wide enough for one person, but the carts fit on the path.
Okay.
Side by side, even. Like, when you're looking at it, you're just like, how is this possible? You start, like, you get a headache looking at it.
Kelly likes to think she understands, but she probably doesn't.
So after an hour's walk, you complete an 8-hour travel and arrive. You literally step out of the forest into total darkness, and you walk right onto the end of the Magnar Road north.
There's just a giant burn mark in the ground where
Like one of those like mushroom circles shows up where we land.
it's like a hippie version of like Terminator.
So it should be noted that, for one thing, Haig didn't pay any attention to what was going on at all and has been writing constantly. Riverine has no reaction to any of this. It just seems perfectly normal to her. In fact, she and Daka are both beset constantly by small flying animals.
Yeah, Daka's probably like, he's got like his cloaked hood on, like from the back, like the camera angle from the back, and just like birds and squirrels are like,
they're like bats that have formed a bat cloak off
like
of
an
your
infernal Disney princess.
cloak. Yeah.
Disney's Batman.
What does Alakar think of this?
Disney presents Ozzy Osbourne.
Alkar is just like sleeping at the moment. There's nothing important going on, so Alkar isn't paying attention.
These weird shapes hurt
you
my
can
dwarven
talk to
mind.
Alkar if you want to. Alkar is a sentient entity.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no like, hey, do this, do that. I mean, Alkar doesn't talk most of the time. Only when something happens.
Maybe I haven't fully come to grips with what Alakar is yet. I like to imagine that, like, eventually when I start conversing with him, or it, I don't know what it prefers, but I'll have a realization then. But right now, it just kind of seems like almost like an extension of Kelly's personality to a degree, if that makes sense. Like, show him the sword. Show him the sword is like, yeah, why wouldn't I show him the sword? You know, like that makes perfect sense to me.
It's
So
like you guys are highly compatible.
yeah.
Look,
So,
I put the two of you in a mech, and that mech would work.
wait, what's that?
You're drift compatible.
Oh, okay. I thought you were like, I couldn't work out whether it was that.
No,
What's
it's
that
Jaegers
anime
from Rim something.
Pacific Rim.
Yeah, Pacific
What's
Rim.
the one where the girl's in front and the guy has the control on her back?
Jeez. The one was 02 and
Yeah, no, that's the one I was. That's
Yeah.
what, I was trying to think if that's
Darling
what you
in
were
the
referencing.
Franks.
Like, Darling in the Franks, yeah.
No. You definitely would not want a Darling in the Franks with a sword. It would be pretty uncomfortable.
Whenever Agram sees Kelly talking to the sword, I just look at the hammer and go, just think to myself, I'm glad it doesn't fucking say anything.
Because yours would probably be like, hey, oh, 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 oh. If it was anything.
Mine probably just is just like kill, maim, burn. I'm like, all right, I get it.
No, yours would be the Skyrim theme music over
It's
and
just,
over.
it's just war. It's just war drums.
It's just the first two bars. Ba 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 ba.
I get up in the morning and grab it. Hey, you're finally awake. Ah, shut the fuck up.
Why are all these red dots on my compass?
It's just whenever I touch the hammer, it's just High Lung playing 24/7.
Yeah.
There's a curse that Arthur has that hasn't given to anyone yet, which is literally like every time we enter a cave, it's the same cave.
Oh, you're done with your objective? Follow that line. There's mysteriously a doorway to the entrance to the cave.
Oh, my favorite one is, hey, you found a cave, but it's actually an entrance to the underworld. Or whatever that fucking vein under the entire Skyrim map was called. I forget what it was.
Oh, yeah.
Big
Anyway.
shiny fungus land.
All right, so we're setting up camp, yeah?
Yeah. I always look around and be like, well, that's as far as I can take us. It's camp.
Are we in the middle of nowhere? Or you said we're at the
You're right
outskirts
at
of
the
town?
end of a road, basically.
Yeah. Like I'll tell them we're at the edge of the road. It'll take us X amount of hours in the morning to get to.
Yeah, so if you guys want to set up camp, can I get a
Yeah.
survival check from whoever's
Oh.
doing the camp thing?
I've got a +5, so I assume I'm doing the survival check. Yes.
Right. Those are fields. They always look like buildings to me from zoomed all the way out. So
Give you a 16.
16? That's good enough to get camp set up, but not good enough to catch enough food if you wanted to provide for everybody. You do get fresh water.
What is like?
is there a river nearby, Alpha? Because I at least want to go bathe.
Not only is there a river, there's actually what appears to be a fishing pond with there's like a abandoned shack that someone would like go to cut the fish up and process them. There's like a float out in the middle of the pond for if people swim out there and then fish from that location.
Oh no, I'd definitely do both of those things: fishing and bathing at the same time. 100%.
It's like spearfishing, but with a hammer.
It should be
the
noted
fish.
it's completely dark out, so
Yeah, it is.
you could get the rare
Still
fish,
fishing.
the type of fish you never get.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a survival check.
I have a tool, Alpha,
Oh,
for
yeah,
fishing.
use tool proficiency then.
Get the rare nightfish for your museum collection.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, what is that a reference to?
Well,
Stardew Valley.
it's Stardew Valley, but also my time at Porsche as well.
Oh.
Oh god, yeah. Yep.
9.
Nine.
You come back with one piddly eel type creature from the
I like
bottom.
to imagine that Kelly spent most of the time bathing, like, and actually just like
It was
like
peaceful
swimming
though.
and
It was
stuff.
recentering in a way that you haven't had.
exactly.
Before.
I like it's pretty on point for Kelly that she and he has never been good at fishing, but it doesn't matter because they like fishing.
Is anyone
yeah.
really
You know what I
good
mean?
at fishing?
I mean, I think the skill of fishing is just maintaining like just that level of patience. That's the hard part.
Mhm.
Agrum would not do well at fishing.
No, Agram would not. There's a reason why the dwarves don't fish.
He's too loud.
Fucking stupid. That's why.
So yeah, Kelly comes back smelling great. Armor's clean. scented oils, all that sort of stuff. She had a great time out there. And she comes back with a fish too, so,
Riverin has some short conversations with Haig as you all are starting to get ready. Like, as the campfire is made and dinner is prepared. Riverin and Haig seem to take over dinnering for all of you. She also feeds the chickens for you.
That's right. We have fucking chickens. I forgot.
You have 20 chickens. Yeah. Better put that on the
How
party
could I
inventory
forget
list.
the 20 chickens?
She speaks to all of the chickens and helps put them down as well.
Does Peacock?
Yeah, I mean, you get a nice stew with some
knife.
with some rations melted in, and then reheated fresh bread and some cheese melted over the bread.
You can't speak with animals to get a chicken's last will and testament before we cut his head off.
Duggo would probably be like resting his head on a rock, like kind of like doing the whole like kick back, relax, trying to get a whiff of air, but like for some reason the air right now isn't as fresh as it was just an hour ago.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like there's something wrong, but he can't put his finger on it. It's just like things smell weird.
It's definitely Kelly.
Yeah.
What? Because I smell clean and not gory.
Well, I mean,
I guess.
what everybody's. I mean, everybody's thing of clean is different.
Well, you don't smell like moss.
That's what Daka wants. He wants that like dank moss right up under the lip.
I like that, like
moisture,
that freshly, like that gunpowder smell.
Different kind of dank, I guess. Still good.
So we used what, wine and cheese and one chicken?
No chicken. No chickens were killed tonight, unless you want one.
No.
All right. Yeah, she's not going to go with wine and cheese. She's saving that for the morning. Let's talk about watch. If you're doing it, who's doing what?
Well, I've got dark vision now, so I don't have to be first or last.
Yeah, I'll take the darkest.
No, I'll have to go in the morning because
I'll take the darkest portion, like
that's
3 a.m. kind of thing.
All right, I'll go before Daka.
I'll go the other one.
Okay. Let's have. Oh, apparently no one makes make a survival check. Nope, you're good. Okay. Yeah, this is nice cultivated land. There's patrols up here. You're not beset by anything at this point. When you wake up in the morning, Riverin is slaughtering a chicken against a rock and cleaning, dressing it, and putting it into a kind of tomatoey chicken stew.
Got worse.
Haig spends about an hour by himself in the morning while everyone else is preparing, just staring off into the sun.
I'll go over to Haig.
He turns and says, Warlock.
I've got a half finished Dispel Magic Scroll that's in Goblin, right?
Yes, it is.
I'll sit down and be like, can you finish this?
My capacity for magic at the moment is interrupted. I'm still attaining an understanding of this dead god from whom you were fond. Your relationship to it is unclear to me.
If you have questions, ask away.
Oh, what shall I call it?
It didn't really have a name. We just called the Elder, I guess.
Very well. Okay.
It was the first thing to exist.
How do
there was
I...
nothing to give it a name.
The idea that time is a force that can be controlled is outside of my understanding of magic. I suppose that's where I need to start, is expanding my belief in the way that magic can work.
Have you ever heard of the other planes? Time works differently on every plane.
I have heard such revelations.
If he's never seen my face, I like throw back my hood for the first time for him, and
Yeah.
then, like reveal my
He'll
stony.
glance at you and he'll say something like, "It is a morning of revelations. My first sunrise, my first extraplanar being who is also the son of my deity."
This is just a body. This body is from the elemental plane of Earth.
I see.
It's like each one of us, the bodies you see are like a mask we each wear. We don't know why ourselves, but always
No,
questions.
that makes sense to me. I have spent much time in contact with two other planes in particular, the plane of shadows and the plane of death.
Death has a specific relationship to us.
So I am told.
There
by
were five.
death.
There were 5 pieces of the god. We are the 4. They are the other one. That I assume they've
It
told
was
you.
I'm sorry, Kelly has not been particularly forthcoming. We haven't had a lot of time to discuss. But my barest understanding from her is that you all were chosen by the Elder, and that she was merely a shadow of its corpse.
The leftovers.
She
We
is
were we were given power, and she took what was left.
yes. It has shaped her.
I would imagine being tossed the scraps of an older power would be upsetting.
I do not think that she tossed any scraps. In my... It is difficult to explain it to someone who is not an advocate of a deity. But
You
we
believe
did not
I'm
communicate in words. Occasional images, phrases sometimes.
Does he know I'm a warlock?
He does. He addressed you as warlock when you came over.
Oh yeah. Because like you don't think I'm in
Oh,
contact
yes,
with a
champion.
deity.
Well, I want to remind you, patrons are not strictly deities.
Yeah.
Correct.
They're beings that have similar to godlike powers, but they aren't worshipped by anyone. They're just like super powerful beings that can grant power to people in exchange for favors. But he says she would send emissaries to me to explain her ways. I expect that I was not one of her only servants, but I feel that I am long-lived. I don't know how old I am now, but I have been alive for a time.
Join the club.
I was supposed to say, where are you guys having this conversation at?
Somewhere slightly to the east where the sun is rising.
Yeah.
But
If
I
you wish
mean,
to
there's
know-
nothing around here to block the voice, right? It's going to
Yeah.
carry.
I was gonna be like, if you wish to know more, in a previous timeline, we met a wizard who claimed to have fallen through the floor of a temple first, and then even a more ancient place up in the caldera where the elves live. If we survive, we could go there. Maybe we could gain some knowledge.
It's dangerous to travel through elven lands. They're a savage and primitive race.
They have been kind to us.
Hey, Doc, are you talking about humans again?
Well,
What I love is that Doc is yodeling over here. He's just like, crude being, or where luminous beings are we, not this crude flesh.
yeah. Well, if you want answers, They're very.
There are several
rarely
questions
easy.
that I would love to have answered from you that we can do off camera.
Well, the answers are very rarely easy. They're more often earned.
I'm in as he stands up using his staff to help get up. He says, "Yes, I'm aware that answers must be earned, often through great pain." And he turns away from the sun and says, "And sacrifice."
Again, join the club.
Interesting. I would like for him to meet his other selves. I think that would be a real fun experience for him. That's the easiest way to get as much clarity as you can get. Yeah.
If anything happens when he touches a crystal at all, he could just
God,
disintegrate.
how much of a pain in the ass would that be? You get all hyped up about these fucking crystals, you touch it, and nothing fucking happens.
Oh no, he would probably die, from what I understand about how the crystals work, right?
Well,
Anyone who's not
us.
a part of what they are, they just sort of evaporate. So
You just get Thanos snapped.
yeah, basically.
If there's nothing else, then by midday you arrive at the outskirts of Magnar. We're talking muddy shithole along the northern wall, and you make your way to an unusually large tower, 3 stories tall, of simple construction. No sign out front. The door creaks open slowly and lets you into the countered Valdella's marvelous oils and elixirs. Along the wall, there are no oils and elixirs. There are staves and blades, a necklace, some gems, and a set of horseshoes. Valdella is standing in front of the crystal and turns towards you and looks unusually at Daka and says, "Do I know you? I'm sorry, I thought this was our first meeting, but now I feel a connection with you."
I get that a lot. One of those faces, you know.
Oh, welcome, travelers. This is Valdella's marvelous oils and elixirs. I suspect you know what this place is if you have entered in here.
I'll produce like the archer's gauntlets. Like I have something to trade.
I see. You would not want it broken down? I have coin.
If you have something I could make use of, I would much rather that.
She gestures to some staves along the wall. I have items that might suit someone of your, what I suspect are arcane powers, but she holds up some gemstones. These are suitable for use by any.
Oh yeah, I remember these.
Which ones are these?
These are the ones that each one like gives you a stat boost or whatever. It's like a crystal thing that like floats, just like spins around your head or some shit.
These are stones of the god of knowledge. They have been imbued with power by a cleric of antiquity. Awareness, protection, sustenance. With this one, you will need to neither eat nor drink.
That seems dull. Spooty, and Agram, did you have any magical items you wanted to pawn?
I had the shield, but I gave it to Daka, and then it got burned bringing his daughter back. But I have the hammer, and then I have the ring of protection. I'm using both still. So
I have. Hang on.
You have like a sword, and then you have
It was
a ring. I want to say.
well, it needs to. You should keep the ring of protection.
Yeah, I'm keeping the ring.
Yeah, I think we pretty much all have a ring of protection at this point. The animated shield is.
I don't.
Oh well, you should look at that.
Like,
No,
I think I got rid of. No, I lost that sword when the last time we died. Yeah, the only thing I have is the ring of protection.
No, the cold sword sort of came with you. We bought it here. It was supposed to be.
Yeah, it was an
attuned
attuned
to you,
weapon.
so-
wasn't
Do you
it?
know what your 3 attuned items are right now?
For me?
Yes.
No.
Well, that's a problem.
Well, the
No,
sword
I'm-
was required attunement, so
Was it? I
You'd have
thought
the sword,
The ring.
You'd have the sword, the
have the
ring,
ring.
and
I don't know what his third one would have been.
There was the sword of speediness, right?
The scimitar of speed, yes.
There was the ice sword.
Frostbrand short sword, which is in the thing.
Yes.
that's right. You have both of them. You have
Yeah.
both of them, and then you have the ring of protection.
And then the
yeah,
ring
that's
of
right.
protection. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I'll sell the 2 swords, but I'm keeping the ring.
Well, yeah, no, the
No,
ring.
yeah,
is,
absolutely,
The ring,
yeah.
the ring is too good to give it up.
Sorry, what are the swords you're selling? Frostband.
Frostband, and then the scimitar of speediness, or whatever it was called.
I don't remember what it was called. Oh shit! Because I think it's like the only one we don't have a handout for.
The quickness.
Yeah, it's a scimitar of something. I got it.
Yeah. And then I'm keeping I've got the hammer and the ring. I'm keeping those.
So what do these gemstones do?
I can tell you what each one individually does in just
Yeah.
a moment. So, and she is looking over your weapons and muttering a few words over them.
Also, maybe we should get something for our goblin friend, right? As well, potentially, because he anything attuned to him will also carry over. So
Just
No.
use him as a bank character.
well, I mean, like for example, like a staff on him might work real well or something because he uses a staff already. So
you want to know about the sorry, they're called Ioun stones, but that's because the base god of knowledge in D&D is Ioun, and these are instead called Hal-El's stones, who is the elven god of knowledge. So, sustenance, you don't need to eat or drink while this orbits your head. Awareness, you cannot be surprised while this orbits your head. And protection, you gain a +1 bonus to armor class while this orbits your head.
sounds good.
That could be good.
So she looks over your bracers, your frostbrand, and your scimitar of speed and says, I have enough to cover these purchases, although such incredible weapons do not pass through my doors often.
I would hope not. These are items that we have found amongst our travels for quite a while now, and we've been traveling for many years together.
I see.
What we are looking for is something befitting a druid, something befitting a barbarian, and something befitting an up-and-coming cleric.
Who are you calling a barbarian?
I have something that might befit a druid quite well.
And what might that be?
Staff of the Python.
Mhm.
She pulls one of the staffs. It looks like a wooden snake.
Hang on, is it just one of those slap bands? But like a staff?
No, but it
So
is-
you hit a dude with it and it turns into a snake.
It's not like a 5 foot tall staff. It's only about 3 feet tall. So it's like a very short stick.
Almost like a club.
It's like
Yeah.
oh, okay.
It looks like a snake which has just frozen in place.
Oh, it's the Aladdin. It's a Jafar thing.
Yeah.
When
Ah,
you
sweet.
toss this staff at your command, it will turn into a snake.
And
That's it. It just turns into a snake. The snake is under your command, and it can turn back into a staff.
that sounds like pocket sand.
Also, it should be worth pointing out that we're especially interested in items that can be attuned.
Yes, this is a attunable item.
So when you say control snake,
You control the snake with your mind.
Too bad it's not an insect, Spoot.
I mean, you're right. I mean, it's not like a fucking garter snake or something, is it? It's like
It's a giant constrictor snake.
How big? How big are we talking? Because constrictor, seriously, Spooty, constrictor snakes have abilities like in this game that are real good. Like
Yeah.
you can hold person with that shit. Like it's
Yeah.
Giant Constrictor Snake is a huge beast, armor class 12.
Oh, if it's
60 hit
huge,
points.
that's a bit different.
Yes.
Gimme.
She says, I would be willing to trade this item for those bracers.
The bear rides the snake, and then the dwarf rides the bear.
And 150 gold.
and then the ant pulls the carts.
Are we okay giving bracers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
that's
not- they're
definitely
no
a
use
And
to
good.
us.
150 gold. Okay. What's it called again? Snake.
Staff of the Python.
Staff.
All right. So you said it was an extra 150 gold as well?
Yes.
Okay.
She holds forth another staff. This is an unusual rod that you will not find anywhere. So it's made entirely out of silver. It has like a worked twisting set of 4 coils that go around it, and at the top of the staff, the coils become like forked, weirdly forked. He says, this is a staff of thunder and lightning. It is a magical quarterstaff which can be wielded in combat, but also has additional properties for ones who use thunder and lightning magic. It will empower your spells to do greater abilities.
Oh man, that'd be great for Thunder Cleric.
Thunderclap, lightning strike, thunder, and lightning. All of
Sounds
these
very, very frightening.
magical abilities are empowered by this staff, which again is a immensely powerful magical weapon physically in its own right. This is the most powerful weapon I have in the shop.
Does it work on breath weapons?
It does not.
Interesting.
What does it do with
Uh,
Thunderclap?
You can use an action to cause the staff to issue a thunderclap. DC 17 Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, they take 2d6 damage.
That's better than my Thunderclap.
You can use an action to cast Lightning Strike and Thunderclap at the same time, I guess.
Jesus.
Oh, it's this staff. Sorry, this staff doesn't empower extra spells. It's really complicated, so I'm just going to send it to you. I have explained this very poorly.
Well,
Staff of Thunder.
That sounds.
It boosts
Oh,
thunder and
okay.
yeah, it boosts thunder and lightning damage, and it also has extra special abilities that are specific to it.
oh.
I apologize. I've described this very badly.
No, I know the weapon you're talking about.
Yeah, but it's a
And
+2
it's-
quarterstaff, so you can beat someone to death with it real easily.
Yeah.
On top
So
of
that'll so basically what that means, Andrew, is when you attack with the staff and you just hit a dude with it, it's +2 to your attack roll and +2 to your damage roll with it. And basically when you make a melee attack with it, you can do an extra 2d6 lightning damage. So it's basically the same as my sword, but in staff form. So when you hit a dude with it, it's +2. So you'll be rolling, 1d8 for quarterstaff plus 2d6 +2 and then damage, which is excessive. That is a lot of damage.
Yeah.
That is exactly the same amount of damage that my sword does.
That's the same amount of damage that my hammer does.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage. And then also, when you do a melee attack with the staff, you can cause the staff to emit a crack of thunder. Okay, so yeah, it's a stunning attack as well that you can do.
Yeah.
So you choose lightning or thunder. What the fuck? Hang on.
Or you can choose to burn. You can choose as just a normal action to do a lightning strike or a thunderclap.
So hang on. Do you choose lightning or thunder when you do a melee attack, or does it do both?
So
Arthur?
I think it says you can cause.
you pick between the two.
One or the other.
Yeah,
yes.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
One does more damage, and the other can stun people.
Oh, okay. But you can only do that once a day. The lightning and thunder stuff.
Yes, when one of these properties is used, it can't be used again until the next dawn.
Okay, so it's not
Still,
like
Each
mine,
property
then.
can be used once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't need it if it's not gonna boost my thunderclap because I thought it was gonna like.
Well, but
Give
here's
extra
what you
damage.
can
My
also
apologies.
do. I mean,
She hangs the staff back up on the wall. A sword hilt moves and snaps into her hand and becomes a brilliant purple. It's a lightsaber, 100%.
Oh yeah.
She says, "This is the Sunblade. It is not as magically reinforced as the staff, but if you were to fight undead, this is the weapon to choose. And as you can see, it radiates pure sunlight, not simple flame magic in every direction, but actual sunlight."
Oh wow, it's +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls. And then it's also a 1d8 for radiant damage when you hit undead. Huh.
It deals radiant damage instead of slashing to start with, because there's no actual blade. It's literally just a pure force of sunlight.
So it's 1d8 +2 for damage, and it's radiant. Okay, yeah, so that's interesting.
It is not the most magically powerful weapon that I have, but it is usable in its own turn.
If I was gonna get
1d8.
something for me, I was gonna get the extra AC stone.
She lets go of
Because-
the blade, and and then the
Because-
hilt goes back to the thing, and she brings over that Ion Stone of protection.
Because AC is something I need way more than because I just got a spell that does 40-10 radiant damage for 10 minutes. So
On what?
it's
Like,
an
it's like
area
a- area
That's
of effect, or-
that's the AOE thing you got, right?
AoE.
Yeah.
And I also got repulsing blast, so I can blast dudes into it. If they start their turn there, they take 40-10
on
on a failed save. Or yeah, on a failed save. If they pass, they don't take damage, but they still get a level of exhaustion.
So what do you have now? You have the ring? Do you have
I
a ring?
don't have a ring. I don't have a ring.
Okay.
I have
So you have the cloak?
I have the cloak, Riverin, and now this extra.
Is
AC
Riverin
crystal.
bound to
Yes.
you still? Or?
Yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
she's one of my attuned things. So
Okay. So that would put you're at 12 previously, so now you're at 14 AC?
now I'd be at 14. And if next level, if I take the attribute increase, I can get that pumped up to 15 because I'm currently at a
Nice.
-1 dex. So
She
Yeah.
puts a prism, basically, like you would split light through.
mhm.
It's dusty rose colored, so like brownish pink. And she sets it next to the Frostbrand and says, "I will trade this for this."
I'll look over to Spooty. Be like, it's your sword. Would you allow me the extra protection?
Yeah.
Cool.
Wait, what am I getting?
And
The Frostbrand short sword.
Oh yeah.
So-
No, let's get away. Go.
Yeah.
so I guess I ask General Hag what he would prefer.
Nothing here would suit me except perhaps that necklace. It is
What's the
what
necklace?
I think it is. So the necklace looks like you've seen someone cast Fireball quite recently. It literally looks like a condensed Fireball spell, several of them formed into a necklace. This is good eye.
So
That is a necklace of Fireball.
that would be useful. Is it
Oh,
is it
necklace of fire.
tunable or not really?
She says, "Oh, no, it is not such strong magic stuff as that. As you can see here, there are 7 fireball beads. You can flick them at people up to a certain distance away, and they will explode as a fireball."
Pew pew pew.
How much for that?
Alone? 2,000.
Mm-hmm. Mhm.
And it's not attunable. So
Yeah, but it also has limited uses though. So
yeah.
and what
All of
level
the
would
fireballs
Hag
can
be?
be set off together in a chain reaction.
Holy shit! What's it? 7 times 8d6.
I think fireball is 66, but yes. When you got hit with an 8d6 fireball, it's because they cast it at 4th level.
Okay.
What level is Hag?
You have no idea.
Okay.
You would assume that he is at least as powerful or more powerful than you, but just like Rorik, without any divine power, he's just a guy with a lot of hit points and some good saving throws.
Okay. Interesting. I'll also ask the lady if she has any wands here.
I apologize. With the recent campaigns going out, my wands have all been taken up. But I saw you had multiple carts when coming in, and I might have an item specifically for you. If this necklace does not suit you, how about these horseshoes?
Or what do the horseshoes do?
Well, these horseshoes of speed can be fitted to creatures to increase their speed.
and
They're
with
very
that,
self-explanatory. It increases a creature's... It can double the walking speed of most creatures of horse size.
can we, Arthur, would it be attunable to Gygax?
It is
in
not
his-
attunable, but it is a magical item that... when you inquire, she says, it's not attunable, but I could fit them to your giant ant.
He is a spiritual being. Would that follow him?
I believe so.
What do you think, guys? On Speedy Boy Ant?
Well, right now we've also got the donkey. Don't forget it.
Well, I mean, the donkey doesn't go to the
Yeah,
eternal.
I'm just saying right now. I mean, the Speedy Boy animal.
I mean, yeah,
outpace the
Speedy-
donkey. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think.
Well,
a
I was
speed
thinking
bump
more
ever-
like Gygax, pick
Future.
up that dead friend and get him out of here so he
Yeah.
doesn't get coup de grace, sort of thing, right? Like,
Sorry, what was that stone called?
It's a Ion Stone of Protection.
But he called it something different, right?
All else Stone of Protection.
Okay. I
Named
just crossed
after
my
the
notes
elven
there.
god of knowledge.
Cool, cool.
King of
Got
gods.
it. Got it.
We haven't gone deep into the mythology beyond the lady and occasionally Guzenkas.
what, Spoody, you have a whole nother AC slot, weapon slot available, right? Because you got the staff and you got the ring now, right?
Yeah. Well, is that staff one-handed?
Which staff were we talking about? The python?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a little thing, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do have a rapier and a short sword, short bow.
What I'm saying is you have one more slot you can attune a magical item.
Oh, yeah. I have one more attunement slot. Correct.
Well, it's currently being
So-
taken up by the scimitar, but
No, I sold that. I thought.
we haven't. Well, yes, but she
we
hasn't
haven't
broken
sold
it yet. She needs to spend an hour meditating with it to break that.
But
But yes, you do. You will have a spot available.
Yeah.
So maybe we find something else for Spoody. Maybe like an extra. Like, is there anything that can affect you in bear form that would be useful, like an extra AC or something like that?
Or just extra AC when I'm not in bear form.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because I've only got 13 AC.
Do you have like any more of those floating orbs?
I apologize. This is my whole stock right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You have seen all that I have to offer.
Interesting. Okay.
You know, I do offer services to craft custom items for you if you would like, or if you provide me items, I can break them down and learn their blueprint and then create it or a customized version of it for you.
You have told us this before, yes.
Have I?
What?
You just cut out.
You just cut out.
Ha!
Yeah.
Oh, the old clapper microphone.
Just clap and scream. That fixes it.
What did you say?
I said you told us that when we walked in. You must have forgotten.
Perhaps, I suppose.
Okay, what about potions? What have you got in that stock?
None. All of my stock was bought by passing soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
Many lords are interested in staying alive, as you might understand.
So what were the other attunable items she said she had, Arthur? Just run them off real quick.
Staff of Thunder and Lightning, Sunblade.
Yep.
That's it. Oh, are the Ion Stones attunable? I think so.
I'm pretty sure they are.
Sounds correct. So let's just double check. Because it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Ion Stone is attunable, yes.
And that one was no food and drink,
The
right?
two that she has left are no food and cannot be surprised.
Okay. Well, that
cannot be surprised. One might be nifty.
I mean, right now you have a sword that you never use, so if you want to swap it for that, then that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah,
so she floats over a dark blue rhomboid, places it next to your scimitar, and says, "I will trade this for this."
Okay.
Rhomboid.
And what's that called again?
It is called the Ion Stone of Awareness. Although in this world it's called Hell Stone of Awareness. It is at this moment that you feel a slight chill in the room, and she drops to one knee and says, "My lord." And when you turn around, Stalvin Black is standing between you and the exit.
Ah, look who it is.
There was no hammer, as we agreed.
He turns to Kelly and says, "Does Daka speak the truth in this regard?"
100%.
It pains me. What will you require to part with the box? It would appear that I have no claim on it.
It's currently not my box. I'll turn to Agram.
I don't remember what the original...
Surely you have nothing that you would wish to store inside this box, warrior.
Was the original deal? Remind me.
The deal was we would go get the hammer of, like, it had a name. It was a named weapon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Inside of this box that he really wanted. There was no hammer, and we're not going to give him the box if there's no hammer. So the box is yours, as far as I'm concerned.
And the box did what? It allowed you to carry things over when we reset or something?
No, it removes things from existence so that they can't be detected.
But essentially makes anything inside the box.
But the box is also, I don't know the relationship of the box to the girl that's in your head. So
I don't either.
Until we know that, I don't really want to give a hide something forever box to our enemy.
Yeah.
We've just been storing jerky in it.
No
you know
one
how
ever was able to cast a tracking spell on that jerky.
I mean, you're free to trade whatever you want for this, Agram. It's
yeah. I'm gonna ask him what is he offering?
So he dusts his cape off and says, "What do you desire?"
Power to destroy my enemies.
I can offer you such power.
See them driven before me, hear the limitations of their women. Yikes.
whenever he realizes that enemies include him, but we'll see.
You are unmounted, I see. And yet you bear the garb and appear to bear the persona of one who is a rider. Am I not correct in this?
Correct.
I could procure for you out of incredible power.
You have my
One
attention.
that could drive your enemies before you.
I like what I hear.
A horse of shadow and flame.
Oof. Oof. It's like fuck, what's the name of that horse from Elder Scrolls that keeps always like in all the games? Shadowmere.
Shadowmare.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Shadowmare?
Yeah.
Ajit has wares if you have coin.
Ba,
She
ba,
has
ba,
wares if you
ba,
have
ba,
coin.
ba, 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 ba.
Ba-ba-ba.
What I offer you is a creature of incredible rarity. They are not born. They are created from the death of a Pegasus after torturing it. And it must choose its rider, but I sense great violence within you. I can take you to the place where you might bond with such a creature that I will allow you to leave with. You will find it capable of not just motive on ground, but also flight.
Oof.
That does sound pretty good.
That
We'll
does
be
sound
Santa
pretty-
Claus.
It can
pretty
also-
flying around with the chickens.
Transfer you to the ethereal plane on command.
What the fuck?
If you seek a creature of violence and dark intent, I will give you what you require. I have many such creatures at my disposal, where they have chosen to follow me.
That sounds pretty good, boys.
I mean, this is your choice, dude. But make sure that it can come with you when you reset.
Yeah. You know our unique circumstance. Should the inevitable happen, will it follow me?
Not in the way that you are thinking. It cannot become one with your soul. But as I mentioned, it can transit itself to the ethereal plane. When you pass, if you do not save your soul before the cycle begins again, it can wait on the ethereal plane, transfer back, and find its way to you.
Hmm.
If you gain the loyalty of such a creature, it will seek you out without question. I should
Sounds pretty
mention that
good.
as this is happening, even though the door to the outside is open, this entire area is slowly getting darker and darker. There's shadows.
It's just like
everywhere.
just the two of them now.
And it gets to a point where I just take my sword out just to like light it up a bit, you know?
It's just a single swinging light bulb.
Everyone else feels it getting darker. Doc's just like, what? What's happening?
What's that?
Can I actually?
It's a
can I
supernatural
actu-
dark. Listen, it's not getting darker; it's getting shadowier. I should say.
Yeah, unless you have
And
unless
the
you have true
shadows are
sight.
taking on an unusual shape. They become
I'm seeing,
crisp, straight lines. Perfect.
even if it's magical darkness, I see through it.
I understand.
If you have true
What he's
sight.
doing
I actually-
is warping the reality of the world.
I'm gonna try talk to Alcar through my mind. Is that possible?
Yes.
I'm gonna ask him what he thinks about what's happening.
Oh, Alcar is just like, fucking patrons. Am I right? Who is this guy? I don't know this fool.
Hey, I'm walking it.
He smells like the Archdevil, but it's not riding him anymore. Okay? It's ridiculous. Who
Sorry, I
is-
just imagine. I just imagine the sword.
Kelly is like hand on the hip, just starts going.
What even? Look, this guy is a cast off. All right, he's not worthy of your attention. Look at him. Look at him. I mean, if you could see through my eyes, you'd see that this guy is a hollow, empty space inside him where something like me once resided. All right.
Kelly sword. Hey, I'm stabbing it. I think I'm gonna have to take him up on this offer.
He holds his hand out for the box and says, "Hand me the box, and we shall travel together to my private realm."
Isn't the box like a gigantic box and it's on the cart right now?
It's like
pretty big.
45 pounds. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty big box.
You can't just hand him a 45-pound box.
What's like?
He did the Pokemon thing. He swapped his backpack for the box, and now he carries
The room is still super shadowy. You just hear it being dragged across the floor. It just
Over the course of the conversation, Agram has become eye level with the Stallman Black. He's just standing on the box.
standing on the box. I mean, depending on how tall the box it would be. I mean, he's what 4'6". I mean, that could work.
So
Yeah, I'll retrieve the box.
Stalvin
Let it be
kneels
known,
down.
the heroes were taken. The only thing that could hide the MacGuffin from the heroes, they gave to the enemy.
He kneels down and touches the box and instantly breaks your attunement to it.
That's fine.
And the box disappears and he says, "Yes, finally." He holds his hand out and says, "Come with me. We will return in but a few minutes."
All right, I'll take his arm.
All right. The two of you disappear in a weave of shadow and smoke that leaves the room completely. You're just... For you basically arrive in a traditional depiction of hell. We're talking a Badlands covered in black craggy rock in every direction, lava. Demons and devils are palling about. They're literally just like playing dice games with each other, torturing human souls that are nearby.
Well, they're humans. I mean, they probably deserve it.
Yeah, it's like office workers. If office workers work outside in an open hell field,
It's like
Around the water cooler, just being like,
it's like
so yeah, I flayed Jenny's skin the other day. Can you believe
Yeah,
that?
that's-
She didn't even react
no
this
joke.
time.
That's exactly what's happening.
Robot hell from
Yeah.
Futurama. I mean, there's just dudes just like this. This is their 9 to 5. Like this is what they do.
He says, "Do not breathe too deeply when you come to it. Eventually."
Taint.
All right. Where did those AirPods go? All right.
What do you look for in your mount? What quality do you seek from a companion of this kind?
The ability to face down the legion of my foes without it breaking.
Have you played Red Dead 2?
Have you played? I would like it to not stand on top of a house.
I was gonna say, its name shall be Rahoch.
Hoach. I want like essentially like imagine like some type of I kind of like describe kind of like a dire wolf from like Norse like legend, you know, something kind of like a Fenrir, but you know, but something able to just, you know, you can take it into combat and it's not going to break under the
What you are seeking is fortitude and loyalty.
Yeah.
He holds out his hand and says, "And to Gotos." And you see a living flame jet down from the sky like a comet and land near you and form itself into shadow and flame horse. And says, "This is
Hey, what up? I'm a Shadow Flame Horse.
And to Gotos."
And to Gotus?
So the horse steps forward, and sniffing at you.
A2, got him.
You smell like a bitch.
You must bond with the horse. He steps back and gestures for you to get closer.
So what do you think about those local sports teams, huh?
What do you think about the sports ball? I too enjoy the sports ball. I mean, I'll attempt to put my hand on the muzzle, the side of it. You know, you've seen like somebody try to calm a horse,
Yeah.
like to begin with.
Arthur Morgan, several thousand lines of talking to his horse.
that would be terrible.
He had male and female lines. He wrote. They made him say a lot of shit to horses in that game.
Mhm.
Like a lot of shit.
But do they shrink when it gets cold?
What the fuck?
RDR2 tech, man. Advanced.
Does this horse have a saddle on it? Or is it?
It does not, but it
Does
seems
not.
as if it would be easy to be on it without a saddle.
I mean, let's try and jump onto it.
As you do, it begins stepping side to side anxiously.
Yeah. And I imagine, I mean, I've got one hand of mane, the other with the hammer in the air. I'm trying to get good form.
You now have the talent dressage.
Well, what I'm doing is I'm not saying it, but I'm thinking of battles from my past lives. Like especially the last one, the big one, that last one I remember before arriving here.
I love the idea that you just like bond with the horse.
Man.
Hey, so yeah, check out these scars.
You want to know how I got them?
You want to know how I got these scars?
No, you're in a bathtub. The horse is washing you down, and then is asking you about the scars on your body.
Oh God! Don't give Zonalor any fucking ideas.
We need the Agrim doing the Geralt bathtub scene now.
That's exactly what I was saying.
It's just a bucket, like a normal sized bucket.
It's just a bucket. No, I mean,
if you convey to this creature that your intent is to take it into battle and kill.
Definitely in a battle.
It leaps into the air and you begin flying. There's no flaming wings.
Yay!
It literally just runs through the air.
I have a mount like this in World of Warcraft. It just runs through the air.
Stalvin Black whistles and the horse.
Some carpenter brute starts playing.
It doesn't move back towards him,
Turns into a Lamborghini.
but it turns its eyes towards you as if to say, "Do we go?" Because it's the thing.
We'll return, but because I want to return.
Exactly.
Not because he's calling it.
So he holds out a hand to calm the horse on the muzzle and says, "It must be fed fresh meat. The more innocent and pure the creature is, the greater the sustenance it will gain."
Are we the bad guys? What is happening
Are
right
we the
now?
baddies? There are skulls on our caps.
It will be sustained with tribute offerings of fresh dead animal.
Daka backs up slowly and grabs the crystal. And
Neither
then
of you are here.
This whole moment plays over again. It's just like back when just like moments before he said like, Agrim, this is your decision. He's like, no.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah, you grab the crystal, you tag out with the exact opposite person, which is like, what's the opposite of a warlock? Druid that loves nature. Sweet.
A horrible
enough evil in this
abomination
party.
horse. Yeah. He holds out a hand for you and says, "Take my hand, and I shall return us to my servant's abode."
You grab the horse's hand, and then you grab someone's hand.
Oh yeah, no, I'll take
For
his
all
hand.
of you, it has been but a few moments, but a mounted Agrim appears inside the room. There is a puff of brimstone as it happens, and you're like,
It's like the Borderlands thing, you know, where it does like a splash with like the horse. The horse's name is underneath it.
Stalvin Black turns and begins speaking in Infernal Valdella.
I think I can listen to that. I'm not going to say that I can hear it, but I will listen to it.
What's the invocation you're using?
I'm not using an invocation.
Oh,
I
you
just
actually
understand
speak
it.
Infernal.
Yeah, I believe
Okay.
so. Hang on, let me double check this real quick though. Just before you give away the, hang on, where is the background? No, sorry, it's Abyssal that I speak. I speak Draconic, Celestial, and Abyssal. So
Okay. She rises after a short conversation, and he turns and says, "It is a pleasure to complete a transaction with all of you. I do not wish to engage in combat with you. Whether you side with me or my enemies, I would prefer that you remain neutral in such a conflict. However, if you are interested in learning more about my people that I shepherd against the gods. He produces a warlock symbol of himself and hands it over to Agram. This symbol will allow you safe passage through my lands.
Interesting.
None will bar you.
Is that through the demon lands you're talking about?
We do not call them the demon lands where I come from, but yes.
Sorry, the lands?
We call it the Republic, but yes.
Why did your patron vacate you?
He turns. And his traditional semi-smile is gone, and he says, he flips his hair in the process. He says, you noticed that your meddling had my patron stuck here in the loop with you. Only by parting could he distance himself from your machinations. As such, I have lost some of my powers, but none of my title. I am a living avatar of his will.
All right. Surprised you gave me an answer.
And then in one episode, there were 3 warlocks in the party.
If there is no further business we need, and no theological debate you wish to discuss in, I will take my leave. Team Battle Juice.
Battle juice, battle juice, battle juice.
Forgot we were called Battle Juice.
He disappears.
And then everyone in the room simultaneously dabs, you know?
He disappears into another twisting column of smoke and flame. Valdella is like trying to approach your nightmare onto Gatas, and it like tries to bite her hand in the process.
That is a terrifying beast you have.
I love it.
You're like, I've only had it for 1 minute, but if anything happens to it, I'll kill all of you and then myself.
In myself.
All right, 9-9. Jesus.
And then we'll wake up a mountain and do this all over again.
There you go.
Yeah.
The stats for a nightmare.
Ooh. Wow, we actually have something that finally has a hoof attack in the party.
I mean, you mean aside from...
I'm saying Gygax doesn't have hooves.
Yeah,
It's-
boy, Gygax.
Yeah. Confer fire resistance. Ooh.
Valdella goes, what better time to revisit the horseshoes speed?
Who needs horseshoes when it can fly?
Wait, it's 60 foot, so it would double to 120 foot in a
No,
turn?
we'd only give it plus 30 to 90.
90 and 90, both flying and and ground.
Well, I mean, I do have an empty attunement slot.
Oh no, the horse would attune it, not you. So
Well, yeah, but
It doesn't attune. It's just a regular magical item, wondrous item.
You get the horseshoes for Finley for when he turns into a donkey.
Oh,
That's
I could take you guys to the ethereal plane.
Yes,
Really?
you can take up to 3 other people with you.
Nightmare and up to 3 willing creatures within 5 feet magically enter the ethereal plane. Or vice versa.
okay, cool. Some muscly ass fucking horse though. Good God. Even its face has muscles on it.
It's muscles and muscles. I don't know what we have. I don't have anything I could trade for the horseshoes.
I don't know if I've ever seen jowl striations, but that's amazing.
She says, if you have reached the limit of your...
Well, how much are the horseshoes?
Ah, I see. Well, for honored guests of my patron, I would offer... Sorry, I have to look them back up again. A mere 2,000 gold pieces.
Fuck me.
I think we can live without them. for the time
for
being.
Very well. Perhaps you would like some tea before you go.
Sure.
I mean, she
So
just
let me ask you guys this: how do you feel about touching that crystal real quick?
I don't have anything to change for, so
Well, no. The only reason I want to is because it would put Hag, potentially give Hag the insight that he needs to cross over to being a cleric of time.
Mm.
I mean, I don't have anything changed, but I don't. Would it hurt anything if you touch the crystal for him?
I
Or
mean-
whatever, or-
it'll send us back to the mountain.
yeah.
Send us back to the mountain. That's all. So we'd
I
be
mean,
starting
it's-
fresh.
If that's the only downside, I mean, it'd be worth a shot just to see.
Because it might. This will be the first time we'll touch a crystal with Riverin as well.
It'll also send us to the other timeline.
I could. We don't know that for sure, right?
We don't know that for sure.
Well, every time we've
Yeah.
touched a crystal, we switched timelines.
True.
No. There was the crystals at specific locations that put us into different timelines. So the first time we touched the first time crystal we touched was this one, and it put us into the same, roughly the same world where, the paladin was always bad and all that stuff. But then that one time we went to the super good timeline, we touched the crystal in. I want to say it was the guild hall, right?
No, we've only touched 2 crystals. This one sent us to the good one, and then the one with the red dragon sent us back to this one.
I thought we touched the crystal 3 times now.
No, it's only
Twice.
been twice.
Twice.
Okay.
You touched one, and everybody else got to touch the other one.
Well, I mean, it's up to you guys. Because, if we go to the other timeline or whatever, if we reset, then we will have trouble talking to this dude. So maybe we should just leave it for now. Maybe touch the one up in the Orcish lands or whatever, the one that they're protecting. So,
No,
okay.
could leave this one here just because we know where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the one that's disappeared right now is the one in the caldera with the drow.
Dragon boy.
Drow, yeah.
Okay. I think we're good to go then, right? Has everyone got their stuff? We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's head to the landcraft.
okay. You all and the Antu goddess ducks his head to get out of the building. Are you still riding him?
Oh, fuck yeah.
All right. He walks toward the door and then disappears in a puff of brimstone and reappears on the far side a few moments later with a puff of brimstone.
Fuck doors.
So for you, Agram, you briefly transit into the ethereal plane.
That's got to be a shock and a half.
While you're there, you can see what's going on around you. And you can see that there are beings currently watching the party. When you go out of the ethereal plane, one of the beings just like looks over at you and is like, and that's where we end the episode.
Alrighty then.
And
You
the
don't have time
ethereal-
to react before
Yeah,
and
no.
Goddess brings you back, but you know that someone is watching you from the other plane.
Wow.
The ethereal plane of rotten egg smell.
Dude, your horse has 68 hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Your horse has more hit points than I do.
Like, Gygax has 13.
What's your horse's AC technically?
13.
13.
18 strength, 15 dex, 16 con.
It's pretty good for a horse.
Plus 2 charisma. My horse has better charisma than I do.
It's probably more of a
I mean, have you
holy
seen
shit.
its muscles? Like, it's got face muscles, dude.
I mean,
All right, so we go up another level, right, Arthur? That's how this works, yeah?
No.
Oh, okay.
10,000 experience for everyone.
0 experience points. But now you have a pretty sweet shadow flame horse.
That we do.
So it should be described when you're on the ethereal plane. It's like you're in a silvery mist in every
Yeah.
direction. What
It's a
you step on
disembodied
is mist.
experience.
Yeah, and the only things that you can see are what's near you, and you can vaguely see an overlap to the material plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do some outros, I guess. This was an episode. I still don't know what you're doing next time.
I think we're still going to make our way over to the Orcish lands, I think.
Going
Yeah.
north.
Through which direction, though?
We do have a safe passage through the demon lands now.
What path will you go through?
That's true, we do. Yeah. Would be interesting to walk through the demon lands, I guess.
Well, we've never been there.
We don't call it that. Those of us that live there. We call it the Republic, but I understand that you've been prejudiced by your human beliefs.
We could stock the fuck up and sell all that goods
Who
at
you
a
calling?
premium.
Who you calling
could-
human?
We could stock up and sell all the goods at a premium at the front lines.
Yeah, we could rob the halfling cart again.
That's long past.
Do it.
That was days ago.
Do it.
And the other thing that actually doesn't sound like too much of a bad idea, actually, all things considered. We'll get to see more of the land, so that's not so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Daco, aka Drumurboy, let's start with you for outros.
Hey, I'm Drumurboy. Make music and put it on the internet. You can find such music. Drumurboy on Spotify, Drumurboy on Apple Music, Drumurboy on Google Play Music, Drumurboy on Amazon Music. You can just type Drumurboy spelt like it is here into Google, and it'll tell you all the places to find me. One place that doesn't do that just yet, Roleplay Radio. That's all the music I do for Roleplay over on MAJP's channel. We're gonna have some more releases for that as soon as the art's done. Now that everything's going up on Spotify, I want to make sure all of the arts is good before we put it up, because it's a real hassle to get that changed. Like, you have to take it down and then re-upload and do the whole process again for that to change.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to take a little bit longer for those to cycle through, but it's just how it happens. I keep on saying I'm going to play Dishonored 2 on the weekends. It hasn't happened for over a month, and I don't see it happening anytime soon because I have intentions to stream, and then I just get tired and don't.
Yep, that's me in a nutshell these
Yeah.
days.
I
Yep.
feel that.
Yep. So otherwise, check out any of the other people who stream. I know Atomikspoon streams. AP, of course, streams. Do you stream anymore, Spooty?
No, not really.
Okay. I know AP's been doing RimWorld with chat and Agrim, and Atomikspoon's going all. Are you still doing Elite Dangerous?
I need to get back into it. Update just actually dropped today or yesterday. The
Yeah.
new update. So
Yeah.
I need to get back into it.
But check out people on the cast that do stream. I only stream like once in a blue moon. But be sure to follow me on Spotify and those places, because that helps me out. And we just reached over 300 follows on my Spotify. So thank you for that. It's been
Nice.
cool. Yeah, looking forward to next week.
All those bot accounts worked out.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, shit.
Hell yeah.
Shit. Was I supposed to?
Get all those bots to listen to the Avernus tune.
I got that one covered on my own.
Agrim, aka Atomikspoon, aka Atomic Warsmith.
Yeah, I've rebranded just because I'm always about going on about the Iron Warriors stuff, and I just like fuck it, whatever, doesn't matter. Yeah, Atomic Warsmith at both Twitter and Twitch. I stream stuff. Right now it's real sporadic because I'm kind of taking a break from MMOs because my left wrist is fucked. So until I get that fixed, I can't really do a whole lot. Kind of just streaming whenever right now at the moment. So just follow and watch out for that. And whenever I need to get back into, got my mods fixed for Pathfinder Kingmaker. I need to get back into that and fucking finally finish that game. Because I keep seeing people, my friends, let's play it. I'm like, I need to finish that. So I'll probably start a new playthrough of that sometime soon. So look out for that. I'm here on Wednesdays, and I'm also here on Saturdays. And then talking to some people about have some possible interest in a Pathfinder game. We may or may not stream that. I don't know. We'll see. So who knows? But I'm sure I'll let everybody know that probably on Twitter somewhere as I find out about that. How you doing, Dave? How are important games?
Good. I'm just hey everyone, you can follow my shit at Kinky Fridays at Henley on Twitter, and that's pretty much me. I make porn games. Sorry, not sorry, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. This was a fun episode. I say fun, but like, you know, it's nice to take a break from all that murder. All the murder and mayhem and stuff. So
instead, you decided that getting a murder horse would be a good change of pace.
I mean, you offered that.
You could conceive. Listen, I offered it when he was like, I want something that could commit incredible violence, and I was like, what would the head of all fiends give you? How about a sweet mount that's fiendish? You can make an argument that that horse is stronger than any individual party member.
I don't know. I think I would put up a pretty good fight against.
It's strong. It's tough, and it's got a heck of a mobility.
Oh yeah, no.
He doesn't just move around in space; it also moves around in planes.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. I know that bombshell on the last part was pretty interesting. Maybe we should go to the elemental plane for a little bit and just see what's up. You know, like, hey, what's up, guys? Why are you looking at us all the time?
No.
But anyway, Spooty McTooty McFruity McBooty, what up?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at Spootnik_71. You can see me here on Wednesdays, and that's about it. We got some gear, and we're gonna get to level 15 next week, so it's gonna be awesome. Look for it.
Did that cover everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. We're done. We'll be back next week. I'm not saying any knows. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Swoop. We're going to the end screen. Fire noises. Oh no, wait, don't do fire noises anymore. We do like teleporting noises.